If you believe everyone, no matter where they live, deserve a place to call home, you're not alone. On Housing for Good, host Chris Goodson and Karolyn Moore explore housing solutions from McPherson to communities across Kansas and beyond. We bring you stories and insights from housing experts, policymakers, and people who are making a real impact. Join the conversation. Listen wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, and more, because housing isn't just local, it's universal.
Welcome to Housing for Good, a podcast dedicated to housing topics and issues affecting our communities in McPherson County and beyond. With years of experience and expertise, hosts Chris Goodson and Karolyn Moore discuss housing challenges and opportunities with other experts from a variety of housing fields.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Housing for Good. I'm Karolyn.
And I'm Chris.
All right, Chris, I got some news.
You do?
Have you been watching the news, the national news this week?
No,
it's kind of scary.
Sort of.
I don't like these stories. So you heard about the wildfires in Washington,
so you don't
Oregon,
like these stories, but we're going to talk
Idaho.
about it? Yes.
Have you heard about those?
No.
Well, let me just tell you, 900 homes burned.
Ugh.
Does that just not kill you?
That makes my stomach sick.
Yeah. Where do 900 families in those homes go? Because you know it's more than likely more than one person each time.
Yeah.
And then, have you seen the rain they've gotten in Illinois and Indiana?
No.
Well, they got 11 inches in a short period of time. And so in that situation, 161 families in Indiana, 144 in one apartment complex.
That's awful.
And then Illinois is still recovering from a tornado that blew through there in July, and that was 100 families.
So over 1,000 families have been displaced because of weather, sort of weather-related.
You know, we always get that question. Well, they just made bad choices. That's why they're homeless.
Yeah.
Are you flipping kidding me? People, watch the news. If there's a home burnt, if there's a home flooded, those are now homeless people.
Yeah.
Some of them will have resources, but not all of them will.
And unfortunately, the federal response sometimes is very slow.
Oh, so slow.
So you just hope that they have other family members or someone who lives farther outside of the event that they're going to be able to move in with them. Oh, my goodness, that's really... So can I talk about something positive?
Do it.
Because this was kind of depressing.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay, so on September 22nd, McPherson Housing Coalition is going to have, I think it's our 6th annual housing conference.
It is our 6th.
It's going to be from 8:30 to noon, and we really want you to come if you're interested about housing, no matter where you live in McPherson County. So our guest today, his company will be speaking at that conference.
Yes, they will.
And we're going to be talking about where are we with housing, where do we want to go, how do we partner. You know, it's really important that these communities within McPherson County really begin to learn how to work together.
Yeah.
Maybe you have something that I need, or I have something you need, or maybe I have a model that's working really well. Can I bring that to my community?
Yeah.
I mean, it's imperative that we get more housing. And so this is really what this conference this year is going to focus on. How do we collaborate? How do we work together? How do we bring partners in that can really help move this forward? So I'm really excited. It's going to be cool. We have great people. And that was my positiveness for today.
Good job. Good job. You did great.
I know.
Okay, so today we are joined by Kent Miracle with Prime Craftsman Homes. So Kent, please introduce yourself and your position at Prime Craftsman.
Hi, I'm tickled to be here. I'm Kent Miracle. I'm the Chief Market Officer of Prime Craftsman Homes in Wichita, Kansas, just down the road.
Okay.
What a good, that's a cool title.
That is a very cool title.
That's a cool title. Yeah.
So what exactly do you do there?
I am heavily involved in business development, marketing, brand strategy, customer relations, and growth of the company. So I spend a great deal of my time working with wonderful people such as yourselves in communities all across Kansas to see if we can bring our solution to them to crack the code on affordable homes in Kansas.
Oh, I love it. Quality affordable homes, by the way.
Very much so.
Yeah,
yes.
very much quality. I want to make sure that people understand these are quality homes.
They are. And, it's interesting when you begin to talk about being an advanced modern residential builder and you talk about modular. Most people are surprisingly receptive, although modular's come a long way in the last 10 or 15 years. And it used to be considered, is it a mobile home? Is it on chassis? Is it wheels? And the answer to all of that is no. None of that. These are permanent structures, and the quality actually will rival or exceed that of a traditional site-built home, if for no other reason then they must withstand travel and be simply just sturdier and have a lot more enhanced structural integrity in the modules than in the homes themselves. So once they're set down and inspected and approved, then they're there forever. Well, I should say almost forever, but as long as stick or longer.
Yeah. So tell us how this whole thing started. People are listening. They're going, what is he talking about? What are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the beginning, how you got there, and what that looks like.
Great. Prime Craftsman Homes began in Skiatook, Oklahoma, just north of Tulsa, about 2 years ago. A couple named Jake and Amanda Thompson. He's a banker. She's a nurse. They're kind of a 8 is enough family, 8 kids. And the kids are high school, going into college now. And one day at dinner, they turned to each other and said, how on earth are our kids going to be able to afford a decent place to live? And they're very spiritual and mission driven. And they said, you know what? We got to try to do something about this. And so, and I'm sort of paraphrasing here, they bootstrapped themselves together, just enough money to start this company. And they began building very, very quality, a little bit smaller modular homes. And a lot of their customers were tribes, the Cherokees and other tribes in Oklahoma that badly needed access to affordable, dignified homes for their residents. And so they've got some traction there. Meanwhile, a gentleman up here in Wichita named Steve Philmeyer retires from Koch Industries as the chief financial officer. Always philanthropic. Steve has a softness for housing because he simply believes that everyone deserves a dignified dwelling to call their own. And he grew up in a very modest home with 5 siblings. And he remembers that. He had a bedroom where he shared one. They ate dinner every night in there. He said, we don't have that. It's gone, and it's hurting us, and we need that. So after he retired from Koch Industries, he dove into the local housing challenge because it's frankly everywhere. And he concluded that he didn't feel like it was going to be possible to deliver quality, new, affordable homes in a price range that those people so badly needed them to be, that he couldn't build his way out of it. So he's a little disgruntled. Meanwhile, he looks at an article in USA Today about Jake and Amanda Thompson in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Goes down, meets them, loves the mission, loves the quality. Buys 5 models, brings them up to Wichita, sets them on contiguous lots in a challenged zip code, holds an open house. Over 700 people come through and love it. And he says, okay, you know what? I think I'm onto something. The math works. The quality is most definitely there. Advancements are ready. These are real property. Banks love them. I'm diving in. I'm going to do this. And so he opens a facility in Northeast Wichita. We had our ribbon cutting June 25th. And before the end of the year, we will build and deliver 105 homes.
Wow.
That's awesome.
year.
So are you getting a theme, mission driven?
Yeah.
All of us that are in this field, that our hearts are there.
Yeah.
I think you have to have that part of it. You need to have the business side. There has to be the heart part, the mission part, the part that we care for people and we know that there's a problem that has to be fixed and we have to do it in a way that cares for people. And that's what I love about this, is I feel like he's a philanthropic person, can't even say that word, and as well as you are, because I know sometime we're going to have an interview and talk about some of the other work that you do, but I love this mission thing that we're talking about, how important that is, how you feel led to do something, and then you just go for it. And I mean, it's at risk to himself, right? Every time you start one of these missions that we all do, there's a risk. There's usually a financial risk, a personal risk. People think you're a crazy person, right? So anyways, that's my little speech. I just think it's awesome.
Well,
Good
thank
job.
you. Thank you so much.
Good job. Okay. So tell us what's different between Prime Craftsman Homes and just other builders that are working in the area.
So the most significant difference is the majority of the homes that you see going up now are what we call stick-built or site-built. They're built on site, which makes sense. And I think it's important for people to realize we have no issue or we're not anti-site-built. We're very pro-modular. It will always have a place. It's very necessary, and we acknowledge that. While I get into the differences, I want to first lead with the biggest similarity or the only really biggest difference that really puts it in perspective. If you build a home on site, the point at which you attach the home to the foundation is early. The foundation's poured, it's set, it's cured, it's time to build the home. Here we go. With us, it's the last thing that occurs. Our modular home comes out on site, all the site work is done, the foundation is there, and we set the home near the end. So other than that, we are producing a home in a controlled, manufactured environment. So we don't have Mother Nature. We have far less waste. We don't have a general contractor or subcontractors. Again, nothing against them. That's just the current model. So we don't have those markups. We don't have to manage all those crews. We have our own employees. We start them at $25 an hour, and we train them with our own curriculum that we developed, us in Tulsa. So we're bringing in people that really want to be there, and they're being very efficient. We can buy materials in bulk. Next year, we may build 200 on one shift. We can get to more than 300 homes per shift in 1 year when we're going. And that's probably only about a year and a half out in terms of our capacity.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that. So we can buy in bulk. So when we go to buy wood or cabinets or other materials and supplies, windows, we have the luxury of buying in mass, and then we can save monies there. Everything we do is to drive out cost and stay lean. Not cheap, but affordable. We have to be able to stay in that certain market segment where there's no homes now currently available. If we start adding cost and adding cost and adding cost, pretty soon we're going to inch up toward a traditional home, and we're going to lose our point of difference that we need in order to make a difference in the market segment we want to play in.
So it's like economies of scale.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that's really what you're doing. It's efficient, it's economies of scale, and that's what allows your price to be more reasonable, affordable, maybe that's a better word, but because of this big economies of scale, and that's what people don't really understand and get, because there's been I've heard some things about it, well, it's cheaper. And I said, no, the qualities are the same, the products are the same. It's just that they can do it more efficiently. And that really is the secret to getting these costs down. Because we can't really, most people, like when my son got out of college, it took us a year to help him find a house, something he could afford. Him and his dad ended up finding a fixer-upper that to be able to keep those costs down for him, but not everybody has a dad that has those skills. And so this really allows you to get into your first home very affordably, to have something then to build equity and then to be able to pass that on or buy a bigger house, and allows you to move forward. But this is such a great product. I'm excited about, hopefully you're bringing this to McPherson County, the communities that we work with.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. This is going to be a game changer for our county.
Great. Well, we share you and your enthusiasm, and you're exactly right, Chris. We're fortunate in that our business model gives us advantages that others don't enjoy, like the efficiency, the quality control of being right there, the production lines. So we can employ sound building characteristics without Mother Nature or a sub not coming in for whatever reason. Because we have that control, allows us to keep those costs where they need to be so those families can get into these homes that they couldn't previously afford.
I know one thing that I really paid attention to when we came over for the ribbon cutting, because we got to tour the factory, take a look at what they were building and what they were offering. And when I heard that every slab of sheetrock gets its own stud to be nailed to, as opposed to sharing a stud with another piece, so you're closer on your nails on your joints. And so they're double jointed. They have to be able to travel down the highway, which you don't normally think of a house being able to do that. And so they have to reinforce and just make them sturdier in order to get them to the site. And I I was very impressed with that.
We had our own private tour at your factory with some of your employees, and they really knew what they were talking about. It was very impressive. These are people with experience and education on the job they were doing. It was very impressive. I feel like we're doing a commercial, but this really is a good product.
Well, and they're great. They're far better at giving tours than we are because they understand. They're where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, the factory was impressive. We drove up, and I was like, whoa, this is awesome. I was kind of embarrassed to invite him to our place because I was like, well, we have nothing compared to this.
We're very fortunate, and we knew that efficiency and automation was imperative. So we made our initial investments because we knew that in the long term we had to be able to build in a certain way to deliver at a certain price, and we've got to stay true to that model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if some communities listening to this, we have people nationally, internationally, throughout Kansas, just everywhere listening, and they wanted to bring Craftsman Home there, or they wanted to do something in their community to bring affordable housing, what as communities can they do to help to facilitate that? Because I feel like cities have a part of what's happening here.
Yeah, great question. And it's really almost a twofold answer. The first one is actually three, and the first one that everyone qualifies on. Do they have a need? And the answer is normally an overwhelming yes. The second one is, do they have a destination? Whether those are infill properties within the city limits, maybe it's a development that they're considering looking at something different. Do they have a physical opportunity for this homes to infill or a small development? And the third one that we see in spades here in McPherson, Kansas, and other many receptive cities in the state, and that is willingness. Everyone knows they have a challenge with affordable housing. Everyone knows that currently they don't know how to solve it. Those cities such as McPherson and others that say, we're willing to join you on this. We believe in what we're seeing, and we'll do our part. So there's collaboration there. That's really the secret sauce. And that's when things really begin to happen.
Okay, so what changes, whether it is regulatory or policy related or financial, would make it easier to build affordable homes?
Great question, and I'll try to just give a few concise answers because there could be several different types of answers. One area we're seeing, and I will give props to the state and the municipalities because they're realizing that perhaps through no fault of their own or just they hadn't considered it, there are permits or barriers or challenges to prepare an infill lot or get permits that require them to do certain things that really maybe are less necessary than they need to be. Because this markets haven't seen this product come in, and so sometimes they've got to dust off their zoning regulations and make sure that they've got the correct nomenclature to accept these and that they'll work well. So they've got to be able to look at their own situation and say, are we easy to work with? Or are we making it hard without maybe not knowing it? Or are there things we could do that aren't difficult for us to change that would make companies such as Prime Craftsman Homes more receptive or able to come in? So some of the state and local ordinances on zoning, we're seeing positive direction moving toward those in terms of allowing us to come in, whereas in the past it might have been a little more difficult. That's probably some of the biggest one that we're seeing now is just make it easier, whereas it was inadvertently more challenging to prepare land and to have land affordable, not just to us, but to the cities and towns, because they know they're in a bit of a conundrum, right? Because you've got a property that's sitting out, not on the tax rolls, and it's going to, there's a value associated with that. But once everyone involved realizes that, hey, if we make a small investment now and either deed or reduce this land or make it, accessible, here's what will happen over the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years relative to the benefit of the school district, the benefit of property taxes and what we can do there, what is a positive impact on mill levies. Well, it's an investment today that will pay off many, many times down the road. And they're seeing those pro formas and realizing that, you know what, you're right. it's hard to dip your toe in the water, but if we don't do this, we'll be worse down the road. And then they see that.
So we have been talking about trying to get our communities in McPherson County to have the same process for zoning, for building permits. Do you see that as a benefit if you're able to go into a county and the cities are doing a lot of the same things, so you know what that process looks like and you don't have to? I know I've had builders come into some of our cities and go, this is ridiculous, all the things, all the hoops are expecting us to jump through. But if everybody had the same process, wouldn't that make it easier for a city to bring more housing in general? You know, not just what you're doing, but just in general.
Chris, it sure would. Anytime you've got collaboration and unity in terms of will and desire and enthusiasm, let alone rules or regs or the lack thereof or commonality across the board, then it makes your partners easier to work with and bring in, and it opens up more opportunities. It creates efficiencies. So yeah, when everyone's on the same page, then it helps everyone involved. And it's almost like the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Yeah. When everyone comes together, it raises the tide and all the ships benefit.
That's interesting. That's an appraisal term, by the way.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was impressed by that.
Well, thank you so much. I've got another professional opportunity waiting in the wings.
I know, right? As if you need more to do, because I know you do a lot.
So are you seeing a shortage of skilled tradesmen?
It varies. We're fortunate because we reside in a large market. Although what we're seeing across Kansas is there's a dearth of skills because it's hard to find pockets of skilled labor that you need in certain areas. And so, for instance, we struggle at times when we're going to be 2, 3, 4 hours away to find and partner with people that are pouring cement or some dirt work individuals. So skilled labor is always something we're looking for. We have a very savvy HR director that's well networked, but we're always talking to the trade schools, the high schools, because we're so pro in letting them find their way into a different avenue that's not the traditional one that I was at, like you got to go to school, you got to get a degree. And so that is a challenge at times. It's not insurmountable, but it's one that we'll always have to work on to make sure that we're deep in the depth chart, if you will, in terms of those trades that we need.
So if somebody's just getting out of high school, could they apply where you are? I mean, could they go to,
Yes.
learn that trade? And that could be another great thing if you had kids coming out of high school and they wanted to learn how to do it I'm not trying to send all the high school kids your direction, but I'm thinking to myself, there's not always a place for kids to learn hands-on training of how to do these things, how to hold a hammer, how to, screw something in, how to do this, how to put a roof on, all those important things. We're losing that. And if they had a place they could go, an industry where they could go, and to be able to learn those skills, hopefully they'll stay with you. But if they chose not to, that could be an incredible way. I'm just in my entrepreneurial brain is always trying to figure out connections. But
exactly, we welcome anyone coming in. The door is always open. We want to help individuals that want to do right by their fellow man, that they're not sure if college is right for them or don't want to go to trade school. Come see us. Get on primecraftsmanhomes.com and follow the link that will allow you to submit for consideration because we're open to that. And we applaud those young men and women that are interested in something that isn't the standard approach to where what they think they ought to be doing. And if they want to do something meaningful that gives them what I call them vitamins at the end of the day, where there's just a sense of pride in what they're doing because they're not just building a structure, they're helping someone that couldn't afford this, then there's a lot of desire for those individuals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
really
so
awesome.
Last question.
Okay. Oh.
What legacy do you hope Prime Craftsman Homes leaves in the communities you serve?
Oh, I love that question.
Wow. We would like to think that we're a humble company. So if people remember us after that, that's fine. But if they just think, hey, Prime Craftsman Homes is the company that we were finally able to partner with, that understood how to collaborate with us and solve the problem in our community, then that would be a wonderful, wonderful legacy to be remembered by. We just want to get people into homes they deserve. That's frankly all we care about. And we think that the United States should have 100 of these facilities building modular homes. Mm-hmm. We're not in it to corner the market. We're in it to prove a different way can be done.
So you're building a model.
In a sense.
You've made a model that somebody started, and now you've grown it, and hopefully it spreads across the country. Maybe we always look nationally and internationally, because I know a lot of our people across the nation and internationally struggle with this. It's not just a problem in the U.S. It's a problem everywhere. So that's really cool. But we haven't given you an opportunity. So if somebody wants to contact you, your website, your phone numbers, do you have that information if somebody wants to get a hold of you or somebody at your company? How do they do that?
Sure. The best way is, and I see all these submissions, whether you call the number on the contact page or you submit a form, just go to www.primecraftsmanhomes.com and you'll see us there. And we'd love to hear from you, regardless of where you're at, because those first calls or emails, you never know what might transpire. Mm-hmm. We like to keep the door wide open. So even if you're not near us geographically, look us up, find us, call us, send an email. We may know of an opportunity to help you where you're at or share some ideas, and you may help us get better, because that's what we're all about too, is because we're not going to claim that we have this all figured out. We're learning in every trip, including when we come up to McPherson.
Oh, yay. So
awesome.
And I will say we had a meeting with you guys about a week ago talking about some ideas, and it was so refreshing to be in a room full of people. There was 5 of us, I think. And we actually were talking about things, and we didn't freak you guys out. I mean, normally we talk about stuff, and people are looking at us like we're on drugs, or what are you talking about now, or what crazy idea do you have? And it was the funnest meeting I've been in forever.
Yeah.
Because you were tossing stuff back and forth just like we were. And we were I always have to apologize because I'm so blunt. I don't mean to be, it just is how I am. So if you want to know what's the truth about something, ask me, I will tell you.
Yeah.
So that was the funnest meeting. And we got so much out of it. We kind of got a part of a plan. I still have some ideas, but that was the funnest, most open meeting that I've been in a very long time, where people were not afraid to dream and to see the bigger picture.
Well, thank you. We also thoroughly enjoyed that meeting. It's all we could talk about when we got back in the car. And just the fact that the atmosphere was conducive to free thinking and what if, because you've got to do what ifs.
Yeah.
That's where great things start. It's a conversation for possibilities. It's easy to have a conversation about what won't work or what didn't work.
Yeah, who cares?
Those are easy. The hard conversations are the what ifs. And you two and McPherson has always been that way ever since we started talking to you. And we just love that, the collaboration. And so, we can't wait to see what's next.
Oh, me neither.
Okay. All right. Hey, this has been a great conversation. Thank you, Kent, for coming today.
Thank you.
If you would be interested, or you know somebody that would be interested in being on Housing for Good, drop us a line, leave us a review, ask us a question.
Please ask us a question.
You can do all of that at housingforgood at mcphersonhc.org.
And have a great day.